You're listening to NT Paranormal After Dark. Nothing normal about it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to NTP After Dark. So, we haven't done a podcast in a couple of weeks. We kind of took a little break after the pilot episode came out, and then I've been kind of sick, you've been kind of sick. We even skipped some of this Strictly Sickly.
Yeah, too. We've skipped two so far.
And I keep getting texts like every day are y'all still doing the podcast, or have y'all stopped because y'all have the contract with Amazon now and all that stuff? The answer is no, we have not stopped doing the podcast. We just took a little break, and now we're back. And I know you guys have been wanting to actually discuss the pilot episode, the Needful Things investigation that we did. And I mean, we have a lot to talk, like a lot of stuff happened that's not even in the episode, really. I mean, there's a ton of, like, there's a lot of evidence and stuff that, you know, when I was trying to cut the episode down, you know, to the new format or whatever, there's a lot of things that normally we would have left in the old format where we showed the whole...
Where we cut it, yeah.
Yeah, you'd see all 6 hours of investigation and all.
We're still doing the live stream. That's something a bunch of people were concerned about, was that we weren't going to live stream anymore.
Yeah. And in the new contract with Amazon, it does not. It doesn't keep us from doing the live stream or doing our own thing. On the internet or all that. So we're still, like, everybody who's freaking out about that, don't freak out about it. We're still doing the live streams. We're still doing the smaller videos. We're still doing the podcast, all the stuff on Facebook, all that. It's just now when we do a full episode, it's not going to go on Facebook for absolutely free anymore. And eventually we might post them up on Facebook or YouTube or stuff like that, but it's actually doing really, really well on Amazon so far. I was looking at the analytics today, and it only just occurred to me that the analytics for the episodes are 2 days behind. So what I'm actually looking at is Wednesday, and the jump from minutes viewed on Tuesday to Wednesday doubled. So it's getting about 2,000 minutes a day, which is like about 9 or 10 people watching a full episode, so I'm pretty happy with it. And then you were asking me, you know, because I think I'd made a post about putting it on Hulu and Vudu, which we can also do. We just haven't.
Well, you
done
had
it
told
yet. Somebody
you were going to, is why I asked.
Yeah. So eventually, it is going to end up on Hulu and Vudu. It's not there yet. Right now we're just kind of seeing how the pilot pans out on Amazon. But it was a really fun investigation, and I think what's really cool about it was that it was like one of those unexpected ones. That wasn't planned to be our pilot episode at all. I think really our pilot episode was supposed to be the one I'm working on now, which is the jail. But when we were at the expo, you and Allie got approached, and y'all went and scoped this place out, went and checked it out, and it was supposed to be like a little side investigation, and so much stuff happened, and it was a really cool investigation. So as the episode kind of progressed and we did more stuff with it, and I realized how much history there was to the place, it was just this kind of unexpected gem, which I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. What's your feedback on it with like the new format?
I thought it was good. What do you want?
Well, I mean, what do you don't like about it as opposed to how we used to do it?
It costs money.
What?
If you're going to watch it on Amazon, as someone who's broke, that's my only concern.
Well, if you have Amazon Prime, it's free.
Yeah, but I mean, you can still watch basically the whole episode if you watch the live stream.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah,
but I mean, format, I don't know anything about that. I'm not sure why you're asking me. Looked fine to me.
Well, I just mean as far as the way we were presenting the investigation, I thought it was a lot better with the interviews with ourselves and all that good stuff, instead of just showing like this reality show about the investigation. Because honestly, the thing I hate about the other shows is that everywhere they go is haunted. And because of the format of their show, it kind of has to be.
Yeah.
Because you're just following them around doing an investigation. You know, it's in the format that Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters or anything like that is. In the format that it's in, if they went in and didn't find anything, it would be a really boring episode.
Yeah.
No one likes those episodes. But I feel like in the way that we're doing, where it's a lot of talking about the experiences and talking about the history of the place, and not really so much focusing on every minute of the investigation, just kind of looking at what was good evidence, what was debunked evidence, things like that, and just kind of boiling it down. I feel like that even if the majority of our episodes going forward end up being, we don't think there's anything going on, I think it could still be interesting because you're learning about the history of a place. You're learning about the people that are connected to that place, in all the things that are involved with it, besides the fact that someone thinks that it's haunted and has called us out to check it out. So that's why I think as we get our formula down a little bit more, it's going to be a better show.
One of my favorite things about the other shows was always the part where they show the person the evidence. And I like that we added that in.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that
in a lot of places.
Yeah, I mean, like this one, I don't think we're going to have a reveal portion so much of.
No, but I like that we added it in when we can.
But maybe we could have a portion of the show where we're reviewing it and like revealing it like to ourselves or discussing it, things like that. Kind of, I think we should have more of that in the episode. Us like discussing
showing it to each other
in arguing over like the arguments we have. Where I'm like, no, this is definitely this thing, and y'all are like, you're stupid. It's this. Because I think a lot of those discussions are the ones that people are interested in. Is like, how do we come to our conclusions? I think that's the big thing. Is people are getting past the physical evidence, because everybody gets EVPs everywhere they go. Everybody gets EMF spikes everywhere they go. Blah 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 blah. But why do we think that our EVPs are better than so and so's EVPs? Like, and I kind of put a little bit of that in the episode about like the spectrum analysis sort of thing. And I think that's good, but I want to put more tech stuff in our videos. And I mean, I know that's a lot more screen time for me, but I don't even mean it like in that way. I think that's...
And no one cares.
I just think that's what people are going to be interested in, and that's always what set us apart from the other groups.
What I meant by that is no one cares if you get more screen time.
No, I know what you meant. You mean no one cares.
That too.
Okay, so your interview was in the pilot episode, but was there anything that we didn't discuss? Like, what sticks out in your mind? Like, thinking back now, because now it's not even fresh from filming the interviews too. Like, it's been a while. Do you still have kind of the same feeling about that location, or have you had time to kind of like digest it a little bit?
It was creepy when I sat there alone. It's a feeling I've had since the beginning.
You're super helpful.
Well,
that's awesome. I really liked all the stuff that happened when you were in there by yourself. I think the best evidence is always the stuff that we get when there's
someone alone.
Yeah, or even when nobody's there, when there's no human element at all. The only problem is there's nobody there to go and check things in real time to kind of debunk it. But I asked some of our viewers like if they had any questions about the location or things like that. I didn't get a whole bunch of texts back, but I know a lot of the people that have seen the episode and saw the initial live stream have actually gone to the shop and went and checked it out, and they said it was pretty cool. I think it's really interesting that people
are dropping stuff off for it.
Yeah, they're just dropping things off on the doorstep, on Sonny's doorstep.
Here, haunted doll, take this.
Yeah, here, take these haunted dolls, take these, what do you call them, tchotchkes?
Tchotchkes, knickknacks.
They're knickknacks. There's no such word.
Tchotchke means the same thing.
No, there's no such word.
No, that's
so
a word.
Stupid.
I'll Google it for you.
It's the dumbest thing
it's
ever.
It's a word.
Internet polls starting now are the stupid, like, little googly things.
I would call them knickknacks, but another name for them is tchotchkes.
I want to know what our viewers call them. Are they tchotchkes? Are they knickknacks?
They're definitely knickknacks.
Bric-a-bracs. I've heard that one.
They're definitely knickknacks, but people, I think that's a northern expression, is tchotchkes.
Why is it that when Southerners are confronted with anything that just doesn't seem right to them, we blame it on like northern aggression? What's with that?
Because it's their fault.
It's like, it's that damn Yankee word. They don't do their T right, and
They don't drink their... Yeah. They don't drink anything.
They don't know how to deal with their minorities.
Their warm liquids. You mean... Yeah, I don't think you're going the right way with that one. They don't know how to deal with their minorities. You mean treating them fairly?
Yeah, like people. Oh my God. No, I was really happy with the location, and you know what? All those residential locations, I always go into them. I never really think. I look at it about the same as I do Alton Bridge now. It's like, there's going to be some noises.
Alton Bridge is the worst.
There's going to be some stuff. It is. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Place is a nightmare.
We've been there twice in the past 2 months on just like side projects, and it's horrible. But I was pleasantly like. So we were me and your dad were sitting in the Chick-fil-A parking lot. Like, it's really great in the episode, but God, if only you guys could have been there. Seriously, like, because it took me like it took like 3 hours to get everything set up because we knew we were going to try to do a different type of episode out of this. So, there was all the additional setup time of filming all the interviews, getting the lighting right for all that, because we have to do normal filming stuff. Then I have to set up all the equipment for legitimate experiments. So that takes another hour and a half, 2 hours. Then we have to set up cameras for like nighttime filming and special filming for... So there's...
baseline readings, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah. So it's... I mean, if anybody has done any work in the film industry at all, you have to take into effect that we have to do it like 2 different times, 2 different ways, and any kind of production you can think of with a normal film crew, we have all those headaches plus some, and it's a pain in the ass. So, we've already filmed these interviews, we've already done walkthroughs, we've already done some baselines. On the baselines, we really didn't find any. I don't remember finding anything on the initial, and we always do that. It's not part of the episode, but we always do like an initial.
I think we had an area where it was higher, but of course the electronics were reading with EMFs. The non-electronics were reading with no EMFs.
It's we were doing a walkthrough during the day. We took our shots. We were doing our setup. We did our sweeps. We talked to everybody, and nothing like jumped out of the wall and said, "Boo! Hey, this place is haunted." And so, really, like. To be honest, it seems like if we're going to find something on an investigation, there's already kind of some strangeness going on during the normal just stuff. Setup. Yeah. And so... Oh, my... something. Anyway... But none of that happened. So I was pretty much geared up for, okay, we're going to let our cameras run for 8 hours straight. We're going to set up all these recorders. And we were using more cameras than we had before. We were using more equipment than we had before. We had new pieces of equipment that we were trying to work out the kinks. And it was just this big hassle. And I was really looking at it like, we're going through all this, and we're not really going to come up with anything. We're going to come up with a minimal amount of stuff to show Sunny.
And with that, I mean, it's still a fun thing to do.
Oh, yeah. I'm making it sound dull, but I'm trying to paint the portrait of, like, we were doing all our normal stuff, but there was really no hope of any kind of turnout. And then, we were like, okay, everything's set up, we're ready to go, let's do a dinner break or whatever. So... me and your dad, we go to Chick-fil-A because it's around the corner, and we're like, okay.
How close was it? How close was it really?
It was a little ways down the highway.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't just a block away.
It was like a good 10 minutes
away.
Like it was down the highway down 377.
If it wasn't very far away, then after I called, y'all were just sitting in the parking lot laughing at me instead of coming back and rescuing me.
But it was so weird because I'm driving, blah blah blah. Me and your dad are like, all right, extra pickles, whatever. And we're sitting there, and we couldn't have been sitting there we couldn't have been gone like 10 minutes, and you're already calling on the phone.
I think it was between 10 and 15 when we checked the footage.
It really wasn't
it felt like
anything.
6 hours.
Yeah, and I had just got the new car, so I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to answer my phone because that was the first phone call I had ever received since I bought the Mustang with Sync. and my phone automatically connects to it. And so I'm trying to like answer the phone. I'm in the drive-thru. The lady's trying to ask me questions about the order, and she's like, you need to move up here and blah blah. And by the way, the lady in the window was laughing at you because like it was just blaring everything, and you're like, man, there's something moving around in here and I'm not leaving the room. She's like, what's going on? We're like, we're a ghost hunter, and she's like, oh, just okay, so everyone's just laughing at you because like everybody in the general...
Thanks, Chick-fil-A staff.
Yeah.
I'm single-handedly keeping you afloat, and you're going to mock me?
Emilio, Chick-fil-A is so far... It is when you're, trapped in a haunted building by yourself.
And I was trapped.
I think that was the key to the whole thing. It's like, it's not just, I'm sitting in a dark room, and there's weird noises. That happens to us all the time. We're used to that.
The door next to me is locked, and the noise is between me and the way out.
I think that this may have been the first time that we were actually like locked in to a place.
I mean, the back door was unlocked, but the problem is whatever was going on was between me and my only outlet.
Yeah, it's like you were gonna have to go through it.
Yeah, and I wasn't doing that.
Yeah, so you were just sitting there squirming the whole time. But I mean, it's very rare that we're on an investigation, and in the first 10 minutes there's something going on, and it's bad enough that you're calling somebody.
I called Dad first because I thought I was like, they left Dad here, or Brad's still here. Someone's effing with me.
Yeah, because it totally sounds like something I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, God damn it. Okay. Sorry.
Bad word, Brad.
I'm gonna order the little thing where
to bleep it.
Yeah. Beep beep.
Allie's just gonna be one big bleep.
I'm gonna have to do something. It's getting bad. But I mean, yeah, that's totally something I would do. I would completely F with you. But yeah, you called and
my dad's phone rang in the place. So
yeah, and you can. I don't think it's in the episode.
So I went, oh, good, it is him. He's here messing with me. But then when he didn't pop around the corner, like, okay, jig's up, you caught me. I was like, oh no,
this is bad. Yeah.
Well, my first thought was that because the back door was unlocked, that someone had just walked in. It's Granbury, and I didn't think it was someone that was there to like harm me, but I was like concerned someone had just come in.
Maybe wanted some meth.
Probably wanted an antique, and someone just wandered in, or that it was someone like trying to rob the place, in which case I'll be like, you go ahead. That's none of my business. You take whatever you want, sir.
I'm sure you're Sonny's hero. Can you have an R-rated TV show on Prime? Yeah, I can have an R if I want to. I mean, I don't want to. That kind of excludes half of our demographic.
Yeah, children.
Yeah, 12-year-olds that just go nuts for us. We are huge with the 12-year-old kid demographic.
My son likes us too on the ones I let him watch. But yeah, that was a little like, even if I didn't think like it was anything supernatural, it was still a little wiggy.
Well, there's 100 things it could be before it's a ghost.
I kind of thought,
and all 99 of those things is terrifying.
Yeah.
Probably more terrifying.
Well, the other one I thought it could be that would be benign was an animal.
Yeah.
But it didn't sound like an animal.
Yeah, and one of the things that's not in... And so one of the kind of negative feedbacks I got about is that this... I show the whole phone conversation where you call me. In hindsight, I even felt like I should cut that down. But there were some key moments in that conversation that I thought were really important to the evidence that was happening there. One, you were checking the ceiling with the
parabolic mic,
with the parabolic mic, and there were a lot of things in that discussion because I was going through the checklist with you over the phone.
You're like, why don't you go check it out? And I was like, F you, I'm not going back there.
Yeah,
you go back there.
Yeah, and you were pretty much refusing everything that was supposed to happen as an investigator.
Let's be honest. Would you have done it?
Yes.
You're such a liar.
I totally would have.
Okay, Mr. I've ran out of more places than anybody else.
I've also stayed in more places that I probably should have run out of too.
But I have too. When have I ever not been the person willing to walk down the dark path? I've always done that. But
when have you not been willing? We're talking about the situation.
This is the one time. Hey, Kyle, I'll walk through the gate when other people
I'll go through the gate too. Nothing bad's ever happened to me. Emilio's watching. Nothing bad happened to them.
Yet.
that he'll talk about.
If they keep going back.
They're going to go with us next time.
Uh-huh.
We're going to have to escort them. I don't know, but I mean...
I think it was the trapped factor. And the knowing y'all weren't just outside.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, what if it had been a person?
And that was a very definite possibility because... And one of the things is there were people around outside. There were people across the street. And you can hear, like, they're talking throughout the night. Like, we kept getting voices, but we knew they were outside voices. Mm-hmm. And I tried stressing it a lot in the video. But I can't stress it enough. We could completely tell the difference between people outside talking and us talking and contaminating the audio and those things that we tagged as EVPs. Like, I tagged those as EVPs because there's no discernible source for it, because the deal is if somebody was... So we had like 6 recorders just strategically around the building, and that place was horrible with contamination. Like, if a mouse farted outside, you heard it inside. There's a ton of that. There's just hours and hours and hours of audio and video where it's just obviously people outside talking, drinking, hanging out. I think there's a restaurant like 2 doors down, and there's traffic out. Every time a car went by, you can hear it's like you're riding in the car. But the thing is every time any of that stuff happened, it was on every single recorder because sound bounced around so much in there.
Well, and it was interesting that I mentioned I felt like it was walking up and down the hallway, and then on the recorders,
right? So
you can hear it going.
Yeah, and one of the huge things is like, okay, so I divided it up in like you have 2 back rooms. You have room 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You have back room, hallway, front room, lobby, and each has its own recorder. And so what's going on is you will hear some bumping around in sounds just on 1 or 2 recorders in the back room, not all 6 recorders. And then as it comes down the hall, you can hear it on that. It gets louder in that recorder and quieter in the other recorder until it passes by. And then there's even a point where it gets all the way up to something comes all the way up to that lobby recorder, and you just hear and the thing that's so hard about editing these videos and presenting them to people is a lot of people are watching these on flat screen TVs, because that's all there is now is LCD TVs. But they have the cheapest piece of crap speakers you can think of in them. They're these little tinny 3-inch, they're not much better than what's in your headphones, but they're mounted on the wall or whatever. So
you really need surround for the full effect. Oh
my God, I like seeing people's faces, like when we put really good headphones on them and we play it for them. They're, oh my God, like the Kyle one, and actually a lot of the ones that we got at Needful Things.
Yeah, we got our best EVPs there.
We got so many there,
more than any other 2 locations combined. Like any other 2 investigations
on one investigation. Yeah. On one single night, it was just like something was talking and moving around all night long, just non-stop. But yeah, you hear like something hit the microphone like twice when you're wearing like the big cans, and it's just completely the unfiltered audio, not mixed down for the episode. It's got so much bass to it, like you feel the headphones like move on your ears. Like, it's so disturbing to hear it.
And he was even louder when I was sitting there by myself.
Yeah, and some of the feedback I got is like, well, the talking parts are really good or whatever, but then the audio gets so loud when it's the investigation part. And it's because all the past videos we've ever posted, people say, I have such a hard time hearing the EVPs. So I'm trying to, it's such a labor of love, because I'm trying to pull that frequency up so it's loud enough for people to hear and understand what it is that we're trying to present, what they're trying to hear, without altering it so much that people go, oh, it's
fake.
Yeah, it's fake. They just spliced in audio. And it's, unless you're listening, and I mean, it's great that for scientific value that I keep all the raw files. Like, anybody who wants to come over to the house, come over to the house. I'll freaking play it for you. And you'll see the difference. But there's no way I can present it in an episode that's just where people understand. And so I wonder how much out of, like, other people's investigations that we're not picking up on because we're not listening, in the studio on a really good headset.
Yeah.
And that's why when people send me EVPs and videos and stuff, I'm like, okay, you have to send me the uncompressed file so I can look at it. And a lot of times that's why we debunk stuff other people aren't, because you catch something on your phone and you're just replaying it on your phone or what, you can't really tell what it is. The video is kind of crappy on that screen.
Yeah.
The audio is not so good. And, of course, I'm blowing it up to 100 inches and, looking at it and listening to it on some really good audio filters, things like that. And I think it just disillusions certain people. She wants to come over. Well, that's your friend, isn't it? She can come over if she wants to listen. But or she can just go over to your house and you can play them for her. But I don't know. There's just so much of that's lost in the episode, and we try to put it in there, but there's just no way to translate that, and it's so frustrating when oh well, the audio sounds real loud, I had to turn it down. Jeez,
well, that's
man.
because the other half of the population couldn't hear it.
Yeah, and
it was Kristen that can't hear them.
Oh my God, she has not heard a single EVP every single EVP that I present to this group. She's like, I don't hear it. Except she decoded the one at Kyle.
Yeah.
I don't know why she can hear that one, but not any of the others. It makes no sense.
Oh, there's a monster in the...
Yeah.
Isn't she the only one who caught that?
Yeah, I was like, it just sounds like... I'm like, it could be something, and she's like, it says there's a monster in the world.
Mostly it sounds like, there's something chasing us. Run!
Like, let's get out of here. Yeah, that's whoop, 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 whoop. That's all I hear in those. But there was a lot of that at Needful Things. Almost exclusive. I want to say almost exclusively all of our all of our evidence that we felt was strong evidence, it was all audio. There really wasn't anything. I mean, there were a couple of like light anomalies and stuff visually, but there's a lot of windows, there's a lot of glass.
Yeah, aside from personal experience, I
can't tell you how many people, even just during the interviews, are like, "There's so many orbs, guys." It was an antique store. That was all old stuff from like dead people.
It's all dust.
It's all
and
dust.
There was a bunch of bugs. Like every time we opened the door, bugs would come in.
Yeah, I mean, part of the opening intro was me filming a moth. Like,
your weird moth obsession.
I love moths.
You love moth memes.
I love moths too. I won't touch them. They're scary.
Oh my God, you're such a girl.
They're so creepy. I don't like it.
But anyway, yeah, like there was a ton of mosquitoes too, because I got eaten up every time I went outside. You open that door and just a herd of mosquitoes came in.
That's the other thing that would show up on the recorder. Like you'd hear it on one recorder and it'd be like, and I always knew it was.
It's a 12-foot mosquito.
Yeah, because the way we had all the recorders positioned, they're stuck to the cameras now. Mm-hmm. So if something gets that close to the mic, like a bug or something, you see the bug go by. So there's a lot more that goes into it. So I really like the ones where it's like, that's just people talking outside. Okay, yeah, a lot of the EVPs that people present can just be people talking outside, but
if they're outside of the range,
we really insulated from that
of what humans can.
So we only got one that was in that sweet spot, the lower range that's outside of human vocal cords, and I want to say it was a pretty clear one. Now I'm struggling to remember which one it was. Oh, it was the one where the recorder actually cut out. That's the first time that has ever happened.
That was weird.
That interests me to the 10,000th power. That's the first time that's ever happened.
What? Go ahead, and what happened?
So we had just done the thing with with Alwie's daughter on the phone where she did the nursery rhymes. And then you hear something run by in the hallway just outside, which we had been hearing something like bump around there, but we were kind of like trying to finish what we were doing because we were dealing with a couple of things on our live stream, mainly one jackass that kept making stupid suggestions, and we were like,
dance in a circle, stand on your head, touch your nose, and
touch your fingers together like this, and sing the rock and roll anthem from Tenacious D.
Wonder Twin Powers activate.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with that, but we were trying to appease that guy, and we kept hearing something bump around outside, and we were like, okay, fine. So we wrapped that up because we heard a really loud one, like it was like ka-chunk, and like something ran down the hall. So we packed up. I ran out there, like just kind of by you or whatever, and you were filming me with the live stream at that point. Like we had switched it around, and I was using the recorder, but I wasn't doing EVPs yet. I just had it recording.
Yeah, you're just saying something smart-assed.
Yeah. And Sonny, the person we were doing the investigation for, said, hey, y'all need to check in the bathroom, because it was like the one place we hadn't done. And I didn't like the bathroom. Like, I had gone in there earlier to do stuff, and the mannequins were just staring at me the whole time, and those damn things were creepy.
Two creepy ass mannequins.
I am sick of going to places that have mannequins
and dolls.
Well, I don't know what the deal is with that. It's like, hey, this place is kind of old. What if we
put a bunch of mannequins in the corner?
Yeah, what if we just
like
have
the
mannequins
jail.
Stare at
Every
you?
time I walk through that last door in the jail, there's like those 3 mannequins that are standing in the corner, and every time I walk past them, I forget they're there. They startle me.
Well, on this last investigation, actually, I pointed instead of pointing the camera into that room, I put it on the other side, pointing towards the mannequins, and then I also set up a thermal camera towards those mannequins, because I swear I've seen it move before. I swear it.
Nope.
I don't like that place.
No thanks.
Kristen hates that room.
Of course she does.
She hates it. She keeps going in there, but she hates it. But anyway, I'm standing by the door, and like I'm not even talking. I've just got the microphone like held out like this, and my hand just happens to be like inside the bathroom, or pointed towards the bathroom door. And what I'm talking to the camera, because you're holding the camera like almost like this, and I'm just like, okay, look, I just looked in the bathroom. I didn't like it. Everybody just needs to calm down. I know there's a couple of creepy mannequins in there just waiting to come to life and scare me. And I say that whole phrase, maybe not, don't double check me. It's probably not verbatim, but there's like this whole phrase I say. But the recorder I'm holding, which you can see in the video, like my hand doesn't move or anything. At a certain point, it cuts off. I said, I know there's a couple of mannequins in there, just like wait, and it like the recording part cuts off. Like I've hit.
Hey, you can't hear us at all.
Yeah, like we completely go away, and it just stops. But there's still like sound on it, and you just hear like I'm alive. And it's like when you listen to...
Is that what that EVP says?
I swear to God, that's what it says, because there's no other sound on the in it. It's in that lower register where vocal cords can't make it. It is in the register where you can hear it.
Those EVPs are hella creepy because they're always...
It sounds so loud on that particular recording, though, because the actual recording part cut off. And I have no explanation for it, like why there is sound just spliced onto the dead part.
Like even
of
if
a
your hand
recording.
had moved, you said my hand didn't move, but even if your hand had moved, besides hitting stop, I mean, it was still recording, obviously. So even if you had wiggled the recorder somehow, I don't think that would account for...
Oh, I can probably pull up the waveform here in a minute and like show it to anybody that's watching the live, but you can see where the waveform just goes flat, like it's dead, and then there's just a smaller waveform.
Yeah, it's weird.
And there's words in there, but it doesn't even. And the thing is while that's happening, we are talking. Like I'm still going or whatever. But what it says in that little dead spot, it's not even like the mic malfunctioned and it just captured my voice or your voice or something.
It's nothing either of us are saying.
In a lower thing. It's just completely different than anything that's going on in that scene. first time it's ever happened to me, I don't have an explanation for it. Like, I've tried, like, banging the recorder, so this isn't in the video. These are the things I tried to do to debunk that. I was like, okay, this is obviously a recorder malfunction. Like, because my first thought is that what it's doing is it's transposing audio that it was actually recording, which would be us in the mic malfunction. So, like, I banged the recorder. I tried covering the recorder. I can't reproduce it outside of post editing. But that's straight up how it was on the recorder, and then it cuts off right after the EVP just stops. So it's totally nuts. But that's one of the few that we caught that falls into that range where, and that's the other thing, is it also, malfunction or not, it still can't be us talking because it's not in the range of human vocal cords.
Yeah.
What the hell makes that? Like, I am still not okay with saying, okay, ghosts do that.
Like, the question is it some sort of interference?
But I am still so totally curious, what is causing this phenomenon? Okay, so let's say it's interference, though, but it's not interference from, like, if you record a radio broadcast, right, off of FM, AM band, ham radio, something like that, and you get words from, like, a transmission that breaks through, it still comes in at the normal frequencies of speech. So that debunks that right there.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay, I totally understand that the recorder that we're using could receive interference from a radio station, and that can cause random voices and stuff. That I'm 100% fine with that. But when we do that we've done it on purpose. I've done it on, not we've done it on purpose, but I've done it on purpose to see, like, what the result is, and I've run it through the spectrometer, and it comes in at, like, 96 to 600 to
still human?
Yeah, it is like, hey, this is, I sound like I'm on old-timey radio sort of thing. But it still falls where it's supposed to. But these things that fall under 85, and I even give it a little leeway. I do things that are under 75 hertz. Like, if you look it up on the internet, what's the frequency range of human vocal cords? It says 85 hertz to 660. But I give it a little leeway. Like, okay, maybe there's somebody out there that's got a really because, like, the world record is something like nuts. It's like 40 hertz. But you don't have anybody with world record vocal cords out there effing with us. Yeah. And if we do, I mean, there's better things they could be doing with their time. I don't know. I want to know what it is, and I really feel like it's some kind of interference. It's got to be some sort of pareidolia. So but it sounds so much like human speech. That's the problem. I mean, do you disagree? Does it?
If everyone picks out the same thing before you tell them,
how do you debunk pareidolia for real? Like the only way I know how is you play it for a wide panel of people. In our case, when we're doing the episodes, we're the panel. Like, I'll find it, and then I play it for you guys, and I don't tell any of y'all what it says, or what I think it says. Like, no influence. And then I see what the responses are. And sometimes it's varied. Sometimes y'all all hear the same crap. But there's a lot of these we play for people that come see us talk or watch the podcast, things like that, and everybody hears the same thing on a lot of those. And so, can that still be pareidolia? In your opinion, can that still be pareidolia?
I don't think so. I don't think if you've told them before.
At some point, you have to say, okay, this is somebody talking, right? But it can't be somebody talking. It has to be something talking. But what?
And of course, that doesn't mean ghosts, but
aliens.
I don't know.
Frickin' aliens, man. Animals?
I doubt animals are having conversations. Well,
what frequency do what frequency do parrots talk in? I don't know.
Their voices are pretty high pitched.
Yeah, so it's probably in the same range as ours. So, like, you're talking about, like, are humpback whales making human speech? Like, I don't know. It really wigs me out. Another piece of evidence we got that I thought was really interesting. In a lot of the EVPs we got weren't words. It was like
Footsteps, banging.
Well, or like the weird sounds, like the whistling sound, like whoo, and it's like, well, what the heck is that? And so my first thought is like, is an owl, is
bird
an
outside,
animal, and yeah, I guess it could be, but the thing is we didn't get like usually if it's okay. So part of the debunking process of that is usually if it's like a bird or something outside, you won't just get it the one time. Like it'll usually
it repeats.
It'll usually repeat it, and in a lot of those cases, we just got it the one time. And I know one of them, somebody said it sounds like on the review panel, it sounds like metal scraping outside. And somebody pulled up the picture of Needful Things and saw the vents out there. And I wish I had got better footage of it, but I went out there and I turned them. And I think I say in the video they don't turn. What I meant is they don't make noise. They don't turn easily. Like the wind didn't do it. Yeah, I had to like pick it up and move it, and when I did that, it didn't make any noise. But it was so like stiff that the in the way they were laying, if the wind caught it, it didn't make. It would have made like a grinding noise, not like a squeaking noise, because it would have been.
And of course, there's a million things in that shop that it could have been.
Right, yeah, and that's, I'm not saying that every single thing we tagged in that video necessarily had to be paranormal. It's what we mean when...
We can't explain it, I think is what we mean. There is no explanation
I think people get confused by us saying that we did not bring this to a conclusion, or we couldn't figure out what it was, we're saying it's a ghost. And... I mean, almost 99% of the things that we're saying we didn't bring to a conclusion in the video, we're saying, oh, it's not a ghost. We just don't know what it is. Here's the possibilities of what it could be.
I guess ghost is a possibility if you believe in that sort of thing, but...
I mean, ghost is always a possibility, but there's also other possibilities, is the thing.
Before you get to ghost, there's 100 more likely possibilities.
You got 99 possibilities and ghost ain't one. Right?
Okay, Brad, thank you.
I don't know. I was really impressed with that investigation. I really like the fact that that's one of the first times where the people that invited us out
didn't stick. They didn't stay around. I've noticed that. Like, that's the first time I've done an investigation at a business or residential where the person didn't stay.
Yeah, she was out like the minute.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, screw y'all.
One of her friends stuck around for a little while, but she...
Yeah, it's, I mean, for most of the investigation wasn't that. But what I was going to say is, like, they didn't know any of the history, which I thought was... I mean, they knew a little bit. Like, there were little clues in there. Like, I think she knew when it was built, and they knew about the rafters had been burnt, but they hadn't dug up anything. And I ended up signing up for like a newspapers.com account and Ancestry Online and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I did more like digging than what we normally do. And I was just like really enamored with that process. Because like there were like 4 families involved with that property, and I was just like following them through history. And so, like, I know everything about these 4 families in Granbury and, like, their little feud. And there's so much crap, like, I wanted to put in the video about it. And, I mean, you can't, because a lot of that ends up being private information. Like, I found, like, the grandson of the person that built the original property, like, still lives out there, and still... operates a business. Like, I really wanted to go talk to that guy, but he's like 88 or something, has like Alzheimer's. So but man, there was just like so much cool stuff in there, and I found out about the fire, and there's a lot of stuff, like the place had caught on fire at one point, and it's not in the like standard city record that like, okay, this address caught on fire. You had to go through like all the newspaper articles, and you found out what happened. And I thought a lot of that stuff was really cool too. But I'm super stoked to get it on Amazon. By the way, if you guys have any questions about that, investigation, post them up. We'll answer any questions about it.
Maybe.
I also find it interesting that it was just me, you, and your dad, because of scheduling stuff.
Technical difficulties.
I think it's there. It goes.
Okay, sorry.
Picking back up.
Wait, technical difficulties.
Yeah, for some
Minor
reason.
difficulties.
Disconnected, reconnected. Anyway, we're back.
Yeah, it was just me, you, and my dad. And Allie had to work. Kristen had to work. And it was such a small location. It was probably better.
Yeah, I actually for this particular one, I feel like it worked out for the better. I always feel like it works out best when we have the least amount of people there anyway.
Now, the one we're going to do soon, we need more people, but...
Oh, yeah, I'm totally... Have I announced the hospital?
I don't know.
Online? I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have. In March, we're actually going out to the Yoakum. Is it just the old Yoakum Hospital?
No clue.
It used to be a mental hospital and a regular hospital at one point in time. It's just been abandoned forever.
It's big. There's no bathroom.
There's 3 floors.
And only like 4 of us are going.
The lady that owns it, she's not sticking around. She said, dude, it was so funny. It was almost like a haunting of Hill House, because she's like, I don't stay after dark. No one will hear you. In the night,
in the dark.
No one will come. I thought it was funny.
It's funny because I read the book and she does. It's so funny because it's like they don't portray it as funny in that show, like it's creepy. But in the book, everyone's just going about their normal business, and this chick keeps going, "They won't hear you in the night, in the dark," and everyone else is just like putting up their clothes and crap, and she just keeps saying it over and over, and they're just ignoring the crazy lady.
Well, yeah, and it's supposed to be that way. No, it's perfect.
That book's hysterical.
But yeah, I think it was really good that we had a smaller group that time. I think it was really good that it was like me and you, the original core people, whatever. I always hate feeling like I'm excluding the other people in our group. I mean, some of these investigations, they're just not big enough. And I mean, it's always good to bring different people back on. I mean, I'm sure we'll do a follow up at some point.
The other thing we can do is switch them out when we follow up, or if we have too many people, we'll set some people outside and break up into groups.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even setting people outside, and that's the thing is because there's so much outside. We found that out at A.W. Perry. Like, we had too big of a group for A.W. Perry.
Yeah.
To be totally honest, because when we would send all you guys outside, and we
people can't help but talk.
I mean, it's boring. What else are you going to do?
Well, and that was a problem at that cabin in Granbury, too, the one 2 doors down from the jail.
Oh, yeah.
2 people would be outside, and no matter how much they whisper,
your dad came out at least 10 times and was like, hey, I'm supposed to tell you to shut up.
Yeah, because I kept going, we can hear it, because we couldn't get any EV because it was so loud.
Yeah.
And no one wants to be rude, but it's just frustrating.
Oh, my gosh. The most fun thing about... The most frustrating thing about that whole investigation wasn't any of the contamination or any of that. It's anytime we were trying to film interviews, customers walking in and out, or people we were supposed to be interviewing coming in and just being like, "Hi!" in the other room. I'm like, oh my god. So I'm gonna have to start telling people to be quiet. I think. I can't remember what it was here recently. I was telling somebody to be quiet. I was like, you're gonna have to be quiet.
I don't know. People get super offended by that, though.
But like, I don't know what it is about people. They see a camera and they just, I guess it's okay to just talk like this. When I was just filming B-roll, like recently, like, because we got the new camera, I was just filming B-roll out in Granbury. And so I'm trying to get this like really awesome shot of like one of those walkways down the square that goes like from the jail over to the opera house or whatever. And I'm very clearly just like looking in the viewfinder, getting this like really good shot, and I'm messing with the focus to get it to like, do this really cool transition effect. Some asshole
taking pictures.
Some asshole just like walks like right in front of me, turns around, and I'm just like filming their belly button. Like I look up and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" No.
Why when you're taking pictures, you feel like you're taking pictures?
Oh God!
You're filming something.
I just don't know what people are thinking sometimes.
I'm brushing my teeth.
I love that new camera too. And what was
I've
that?
just heard so much about this camera.
This camera is what filmed this last episode, so.
It's a nice camera. I'm not arguing.
And we got 2 of them now too. We're super spoiled. It's awesome. I went out and bought my own.
Oh, because Dad has one, yeah.
Yeah. He can't be better than me. Ow. I have an infected tattoo.
Stop scratching it, you bonehead.
I'm not scratching it. I'm pushing up here because it makes me feel like I'm doing something. Dead air.
Yeah, what are you? Where are you going?
I don't know. I think this is awesome, riveting radio.
Are we done with that investigation?
I don't know. You remember anything? What besides the sitting around?
The thing shaking in the back room.
Yeah. Have you had any thoughts about that? I wish I had caught more of that on video. I was surprised I caught any of it on video because we were pretty bummed because we didn't think we got it. But,
all I know is me and Dad were packing up and we were about to walk out of that room.
That's the only time I've seen him rattled.
Dude.
That
me
wigged
and
him out.
Just started laughing.
Yeah, but it was like that
hysterical
nervous
laughter.
Like, yeah.
Hey, Sonny.
Even when I was filming his interview in that room, so
You keep looking behind it.
Oh man, he was eyeballing that damn thing because
well, you've never had anything like that. I got so excited, like it was nerve wracking, but it was also really cool because I've never seen anything like that happen.
Well, what was cool is we were doing the interviews with Sonny, Rachel, and we were presenting the evidence, and we brought it up. We said, "Hey, the dresser, like we didn't actually, because I didn't have a clip of it yet, because I didn't think I'd caught it." And I didn't think it was strong evidence. I thought it was good for the video, but I didn't think it was strong evidence because we didn't capture it. But we were showing that to him, and they're like, "Oh!" And like after they figured out what dresser, she's like, "Yeah, that thing's hand built, like from like Prohibition era
well,
or
the
something."
Thing was, like, I tried to debunk it, like I jumped up and down a little bit, like next to it.
Yeah, we could make it shake.
But the thing was, no one was touching it, and no one was jumping up and down. Like we were walking away, and I tried walking the same path. We tried having you go back to where you were walking.
So when I was filming the interview with your, like he kept eyeballing it. He was kind of nervous about it.
It sold, she said. That piece of furniture sold.
I'm curious if she told whoever she sold it to.
This thing moves by itself.
I feel like Sonny needs to. I feel like Sonny needs to have a disclaimer on all the stuff she sells from now and be like, okay, by the way,
now I tell it depends. Is that going to make it sell more?
It could. I don't know. Oh, don't let me forget. I have an announcement at the end of our episode too.
I'm immediately going to let you forget.
But
no, that thing, it shook.
Well, while I know, and we could get it to do that again, but
no
you had
one
to you had to jump up and down or like run around in the room or go up in like.
She did tell him. She said she told him.
I gotta find out what I need to know more. We need more details, Sonny.
What details?
I want to know what they said about it. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. Or if they were like, holy, I'll pay you more. And I want to know if more stuff has showed up on her doorstep. Because I feel like this is a great marketing opportunity here. I don't know.
Dude, if I had a business, I'd immediately be like, let's ghost on it.
Yeah. Well, we need to go do the tattoo shop. Oh, I need to talk about what happened when I went to go get this tattoo. When we went to go get our tattoos.
Yeah.
Well, I told you about it. Do you not remember me seeing?
Oh yeah, you did tell me about that.
Is Allie?
She's watching. They laughed when Sonny said they laughed when she told them.
Oh.
But yeah, Allie was watching. I thought.
So.
Because you didn't tell him.
Yeah, I haven't said. I only said something to you. Well, really, I forgot about it. Is what happened. Then I remembered, and I forgot about it until we were talking about it just again. So now, so that it's out on our show, we went to go get tattoos last Friday, and I got mine first, and then you went up on the table or whatever. But we were all kind of like hanging out in the back. Allie was sitting on a couch. Ryan was doing your tattoo on the chair, and I was standing in the doorway. Well, that's kind of behind the counter, and then they have like a lobby area with like some arcades in it, and it's kind of open, and then that's where the front door's at. I can't remember what we were all talking about, but I was looking at Alwie on the couch. Like, I was talking back and forth with her, and out of the corner of my eye to the left, I saw somebody walk in the front door across the lobby in, like, towards the back, like where the seats are at, like in front of the arcades to where the seats are. And like, I didn't.
Their door has a bell on it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even think of that, but I thought somebody came in. Like, I knew they didn't have any more appointments, but I thought maybe it was like a late walk-in or something like that. And I kind of looked over there, and I didn't see anybody, and I kind of didn't think about it. And then I kind of did like a double take, and I was like, "What the heck?" And then Allie started talking to you, and I was like, "What the heck did I just see?" Because she collects a bunch of oddities, and she has mentioned that there have been some like weird sounds and stuff or whatever, but no big deal. You know, it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's probably animals and things like that. But I walked over to the front and I kind of looked around because I was like, did somebody walk in? And like, just because I didn't see anybody walk back out or anything. Never saw anybody, but it was just so weird. I just saw like this shadow of a person just like walk in and then just nothing. And so now I'm kind of thinking maybe there's something going on there, or at least enough it would be fun to go back and like set up some equipment and stay at their shop overnight. But I want to go back and do that now that I saw that, because it kind of wigged me out for a second, and I was like, should I say something? And then y'all were talking about it, and I was like, nah, it's not worth interrupting.
Well, back to Needful Things, Sunny says nothing else has showed up, but people are calling and asking about it.
Oh, it makes me sad. I think more things should show up.
Free haunted oddities.
Yeah. Or something is stalking. You know, I've brought that up too, is I wonder if the more that we do this...
Kyle.
I wonder if the more that we do this, like, you can make yourself sensitive or like...
I don't think that's a thing.
More attuned to it. I don't know. Like, when we first started doing it, the frequency of me seeing stuff wasn't very much, but the more stuff that's happened, it seems like the frequency that it happens has become more. They were just
noticing more confirmation bias.
I don't know. What's that effect?
Bader-Meinhof effect. That's when you get a purple car and all of a sudden you see a bunch of purple cars, or you learn a new word.
Or do you think this is more the Kruger-Dunning effect in my case?
Well, you are an example of that, but the Kruger-Dunning effect is where
no, make him Google it.
Dumb
make
people
make him work
think
for
they're
it.
Smart.
You're so dumb you don't realize that you think you're the smartest person in the room.
It's an actual effect. Like, they've done it with people that like play instruments. Like, if you're not good at it, you don't have the skills to see that you're not good at it. You don't have, you're not attuned to what you're doing wrong if you don't have this skill set. Like, I'm bad at math. I don't see the problems in what I'm doing because I'm bad at math.
Yeah, it's like that whole thing, like, hey, if you think it's wrong, you should ask for help. Well, if I don't think it's wrong, I'm not going to ask. How am I going to know? It looked right to me. Like, I've been yelled at for that before. It's like, why didn't you ask for help? I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I'm that way. Like I said, with math,
But while I was filming his interview, like, he kept eyeballing it. And what was funny is while we were doing it, it's like it's spliced together, what he was saying with like some B-roll, because like in the middle of talking, it did it again. Like, because there were some dishes and stuff stacked on it, and he was like, yeah, I was in this room, and that thing. He was actually talking about that at the time. He was like, yeah, and then this started shaking, and it was directly behind me, and all of a sudden it's just like shimmy, 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 and he's like, there it goes again.
My curiosity is because there wasn't a truck anywhere in the vicinity that we heard.
Okay.
My curiosity was if it was a car somewhere just out of the range where we were hearing it, and it was like a massive truck or something.
No, and I can rule that out too, because the thing is, anytime like a truck or anything like that went by or was in the vicinity, it showed up on the audio recorders. There is nothing during that section. There's nothing on the audio recorders. There's nothing on the video recorder showing anything moving around in the rest of the building.
That is the first time we've ever had something like move on an investigation that we haven't been able to immediately debunk.
Like, visibly, yeah, for sure. Like, we've heard stuff moving around.
But, I mean, see, we saw it move. We couldn't debunk it immediately.
And the thing is I didn't see it. I was in the hallway. And so, the closest I can get to it is, like, on the footage, which he had the handheld panned around at it. And you can see the motion, like, wobbling.
The light wobbling. Like, that was my brain was like, oh, the light's shaking. But no, it's the whole dresser. I'm amazed that light didn't fall off, considering how hard it was rattling.
And then that was the first investigation we used those motion sensors on. That's the first investigation we used that parabolic mic on.
I wish I hadn't already set off that motion sensor, because it would have been interesting to see if it would have caused it to go off.
If it came on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the trick with those, is figuring out how to use those where we don't set them off, but something, it's kind of, really that's kind of an experiment for, you set a few up in a hallway or whatever, and if it comes on when nobody's in there.
Yeah,
but
they'll be good in that hospital we're going to do.
Yeah, I plan on just sticking those, like, up in the top floor or something and having a camera pointed down the hall.
No one's wandering off completely alone, though, because that's just a bonehead thing to do in a place like that.
Man, I heard that place is just terrifying at night. It's just, they're going to sweep it and make sure there's no hobo killers in there for us, and then we're just on our own.
And they're not going to be able to check every freaking nook and cranny, though.
I don't think it's that big. I think it's big, but I don't think it's like that big.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if there's some homeless person living in there, they probably carved out a freaking spot behind the wall, and they're going to wait till they sweep it, and then they're going to come out and kill us.
I want to play How to Catch a Hobo.
I think it's a bad idea, though, for anyone to walk off, because you said we need to split into smaller groups because it's big enough that we need to do that, but I don't think anyone needs to go off alone.
Yeah, it's actually big enough that we're going to have to break up, like, into twos and run investigations on different floors and stuff, and we're going to have to use the walkie-talkie. It's, like, big enough we're going to have to use the walkie-talkies to communicate. Like, if you hear something going on, you're going to have to check and make sure the other groups aren't contaminating.
Excuse you.
Yeah, I got heartburn bad.
Yeah, if they're on the floor, like, right below you, it can still contaminate.
Yeah.
Because at that jail, I noticed that if one of us walked in the lobby, it sounded like someone was walking upstairs. Like, we were able to recreate that, like, 4 or 5. Because you'd go, oh, is someone walking around up here? I'm like, no, that's Allie walking down here. And even if she wasn't making, like, a lot of noise downstairs, you could still hear it clear upstairs, like someone was walking.
Man, so that last investigation at the jail was actually quite a bit of fun, too.
Yeah.
We did some new... I didn't like the sensory...
I had a first-time experience there.
What was it? What?
When I was on the stairs, and it felt like something touched me.
See, this is why we record things, because I don't remember that.
I was sitting on the stairs, and you...
Oh, yeah, I was sitting under the stairs, right?
And I freaked out because I thought it was a bug. So I, like, went into the office and, like, stripped to figure out where this... But it was, like... It was strong, like whatever touched me, like it felt like someone poked me and then dragged their finger down. And like I was like, okay, there's a bug in my clothes. So
which is funny because that's the same place I got red marks later.
Yeah, the left side is where Allie too said she had something happen. But I was sitting on the stairs with my ear like cocked up listening to my dad because he was up there doing his first time like alone in a room doing EVPs.
Yeah, we ran him through the paces.
I was just listening and then it felt like something touched me and I was like, well... And then we all kind of had the same experience.
I'm a little wigged out by that place now because it seems like every time we go back, things have progressed. It might be your theory panning out. It's like, I don't like that I keep getting touched there. That's the first place I've been touched, and then this last time my neck turned red.
It was the left side again.
Yeah, it was like something grabbed my neck because I felt it. It was kind of weird, and then when I came out of there, it was all red. Now, it did get more red because I touched it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about those red marks because mine was red too when I came downstairs, but I don't know if I was subconsciously...
I know it got redder when I got downstairs because I was jacking with it, but I hadn't really touched it while I was up in the cell.
Jen says, yeah, I was watching that one on my way to Alabama. I think it's my favorite. Are you talking about the jail? But, yeah, like, the first time we went to the jail, Jack had... Like, some stuff happened, but, like, it wasn't interesting.
See, after I go through the footage, I wonder if it's going to be like Kyle. Because remember, we thought we didn't capture anything at Kyle for a long time.
We went back over it and we had caught stuff in that first episode. But what I'm saying is no one was getting touched. It was real. It was more like our normal stuff we got. It was EVPs. It was us reacting to noises.
I don't remember us getting any EVPs.
I'm pretty sure you went back over it recently and told me we had gotten more stuff.
Yeah. I think there's some stuff.
But yeah, every time we go back, it's like more and more happens.
But yeah, that freaked me out when.
It'd be nice if my theory worked.
Well, it freaked me out when I put my hand on the bed because it felt like something grabbed me. Like, no joke, all jokes aside, it felt like something grabbed my hand, and it startled me pretty bad because that hadn't happened before. Yeah, it was
fun to watch.
But you know what's funny is, so we took the internet poll, and I did the total lockdown in that room, and really nothing happened in there other than, there was the sound of like somebody sat on the bed, and I think I captured that on the live stream, and I captured it on my recorder. Like, it's all there,
and we tried to recreate it in a bunch of different ways.
Everything. I am really proud of us for the amount. We went in the other room
and shook everything in there. We went downstairs and shook everything. It had to have been that bed though. But yeah, the jail's a fun locate. Like, at first I thought that was going to be Carter all over again, where it's just so obnoxiously boring. I don't care what evidence we get. I don't want to go back. I don't care what we get at Carter. I'm not going back there because it's awful. I want to blow my brains out 10 minutes into that investigation every time. I hate it. But it's also one of the first ones we did, so I don't wonder, like, I wonder sometimes if we went back and did some of these places, if we'd just get completely different results.
I think we would.
Like Antioch.
Like, I think it's hilarious that we do. How many times have we officially done Antioch? Like, what, 4?
Yeah, but they were, like, all of them were, like, in the first 2 years.
Yeah, we really didn't know what we were doing.
And Caitlin wants to go.
And for the most part, even, like, as early on as we were, as amateur as we were, we pretty much came to the conclusion there's nothing really there.
We were just hearing stuff, yeah.
But that last time we went back, just on a whim or whatever, we went up to the gate, took like one look in there, and we're like, no. We're like, there's something bad in there. I don't like it.
And I tend to trust those feelings because I think a lot of people ignore those, I don't want to walk into this place because it feels bad, is being kind of stupid. But I really think our brains are wired to sense danger.
Well, and that's what I was kind of more thinking about earlier, is like the more that we do this, are our brains better wired for that? Like now that we're
sensing when it's something really bad and not just...
Yeah, because I mean, we're all logical. We know what the things are in graveyards and stuff that make noises. I mean, we've found them. We've done them. We've been attacked by birds and possums.
It was an armadillo.
Armadillos, and things, like, we've done a lot of stupid stuff, but there are some places we still walk up to and we just like...
We do that at Kyle on occasion, where sometimes we'll go and we just walk in and it's fine. And then sometimes we get up to the parking lot and we're like, not today. Nope.
Not today, goat man.
But it's so weird. Like, I sometimes wonder what the difference is. Like, what are we seeing? What are our brains noticing? What are we picking up on that's so anxiety ridden that there's these times when we can't walk? Antioch and Kyle are the two places this has happened.
Yeah.
And
Great House.
Great House has always freaked me out. But that was from an old experience I had when I was just a kid. But and it was with that bridge, interestingly enough, the one where we caught the picture.
Yeah.
But
during the day, not during an investigation.
But it's so weird. Like, I wish somehow we could document the difference between what is going on these nights. Like, is it something different with... Is it darker?
Well, I remember the one that sticks out in my head about Kyle is when we pulled up to the gate and we just sat in the car, because we always do that. We just sit in the car, we chill, and
we always have to work up to Kyle.
Well, we're kind of scoping out. Well, I mean, we've heard
for mountain lions.
We've heard freaking animals in there. I mean, we had...
Well, and they literally, like, it's off that park road, and they literally had a mountain lion attack that killed one horse and maimed another.
We sit there and we chill before we go in, but I remember one of the times that we backed down, and, like, I regret it and I don't regret it at the same time, because I want to capture the evidence, but at the same time I don't want to die. I want to live to tell.
Yeah.
But we saw that green halo around the back fence, or at least I did. I think you did too, right?
Yeah, and we were like, let's go. Let's go home.
Oh, yeah. We were like, let's get the hell out of here.
Well, I think there's something different on those nights where our brains are kicking in that fight or flight response even stronger than they normally do. Because why is it some days we can just walk in there and someone can't? Like, what's the difference? What happened that day at Antioch as opposed to all the other times we just willy-nilly walked in there? I don't understand the difference. It's got to be something our brains are sensing that we're not fully cognizant of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I mean, for all intents and purposes, we've been in there so many times, and we know, okay, you like where to step, what's in there, things like that. Like, there's nothing in there that should be scaring us. But sometimes we're just like, no, doesn't feel right. But something's bad.
I am a firm believer that, we have these instincts for a reason. Like, evolution put these instincts in us so we don't die, and we should probably listen when they're that bad.
I don't know, but I also feel like it's our job to ignore those.
It is until we get mauled by a mountain lion.
You mean until you get mauled by a mountain lion?
Screw that, man. I'm tripping you. Or if there's other people out there, which is always our biggest fear.
Oh my God, guys. Y'all and this stupid doll.
I've been sleeping with this doll a foot from my head.
Y'all should take Debbie to
for weeks.
Yes,
and
take Debbie.
Has happened.
Debbie wants to visit Kyle. Nothing has happened with this doll. Nothing at all. Nothing.
In fact, my daughter was carrying it around like it was a baby.
Well,
doll.
one of the announcements, what I was talking about was I'm thinking about, I want to take her on some investigations, do a few more tests with her, whatever, just finish the whole thing.
We could take her to Kyle and get her haunted.
I was thinking, that was the other possibility. I want to at least take, because we haven't found anything with her, so I want to take her to some places and give her a chance to become possessed and demonic. But I was going to offer her up to our viewers for like a fundraising auction. So everybody that's obsessed with this stupid doll could possibly buy the doll.
But no, I that's my word. We're going to take it to Kyle, and it was totally not possessed before. And we're going to get it back, and it's going to be just awful.
Well, that'll be a good experiment to see if you can get a doll possessed, I guess. We've run all the tests we can think of on it.
Goat man, get in the doll.
Man, I was calling out the goat man so hard.
Alton freaking Bridge.
At Alton Bridge.
So, my daughter wants to go on a couple investigations. And Antioch is one place, I don't want to take her to Kyle because that place is too nerve-wracking. I can't. Having my kid... having my kid out there would make my anxiety so high. I can't deal with it.
It would probably make you a bad mother, too. Alton's okay because we've got absolutely zero evidence that there's anything out there.
I thought Antioch would be an interesting place to take her because we know there's nothing out there. It's pretty close to civilization. It's not like Kyle, it's right next to a city.
But it is one of the few places that we've been to where somebody was possibly possessed. If you're shooting darts at a dartboard, that's probably a bad spot.
Okay, well then how about George's Creek?
Yeah, I was thinking George's Creek is fine. I mean, the worst that happens there, she's going to get some drugs.
Or fence goods.
We can send her into the Candyman bathroom.
Oh, God.
Candyman.
No.
Candyman.
Yeah, we took her and Allie's daughter out to Alton Bridge, and that place is a non-stop nightmare.
Hey, that's the first time we've taken a fan on an investigation. So, everybody that's always asking, it can happen to you. You got to be really nice to us.
But that place is, and it never fails that there's some group of teenagers.
The kids had fun, though.
But it never fails that there's some group of teenagers out there that wants to follow us around.
We've been twice. We went out there with...
Haiti.
Yeah, with Haiti, who's part of... Unseen
Paranormal.
Yeah, sorry.
But there's always a group of teenagers that's like, hey, we're going to follow y'all and watch. You stuck that one teenager out in the woods. I'm so tired of teenagers. I was like, I'm gonna teach this one a lesson. And so I was like, hey, which one of y'all wants to just hang out in the woods by yourself? I should have went back and screwed with him. He wasn't scared at all. You failed to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, I don't know. I gave it a shot. I mean,
but the interesting thing was they told us someone had passed away out there.
Holy crap, yeah.
And someone did. A week before we went out there, someone had fallen or gotten pushed or jumped off that bridge and died. What?
Did you hear that? Was that me?
Yes, that was you.
Oh, okay.
You dragging your finger down this stupid pad over there.
Okay, sorry.
Jackass.
I heard like in our audio. I was like, Jesus Christ, what's happening?
It's the goat man.
It's the goat man.
But no, we were on top of the bridge, me and the two girls, because they didn't want to climb down bullet, and we just hear, goat man, suck my balls. I was like, oh my God.
It was so awesome. They're like, well, the people that were following us were down there like, can you like provoke it? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, let's do this. I'm like, hello, goat man.
It's because of that stupid BuzzFeed video.
F
That's
you,
what he did.
goat man. Yeah, I know. They did it way better than I did, but it was so fun. I could just hear y'all like laughing or whatever.
Because it was random. We're just up there and we're like reading the sign of the kid that died. And I hear, goat man, suck my balls. Caitlin and Savannah were laughing so hard.
Yeah, so that was Savannah's and Caitlin's birthday.
Yeah, they had fun. They had fun. But I hate that place. I hate Alton Bridge. There is nothing out there.
Yeah.
Except for mass amounts of people.
And lying. I'm a liar. Okay, so I tried rewatching. We tried rewatching the because we watched Demon House. Remember, I changed my mind. I'm like, well, I liked it.
Maybe Zach Bagans is a legitimate investigator.
It is what it is. And I've watched the new season, and it's hyped up or whatever. But I feel like there's some meat and potatoes in there somewhere in all the theatrics. And I was like, I'm gonna go back and watch
the Alton Bridge episode.
The Alton Bridge episode. The one that got me so mad. This is the cheesiest piece of crap. It's worse than stuff I produce.
We're out in the woods alone. There's no one anywhere near us. You're 5 feet from a highway. You're 5 feet from a highway.
I just got so mad all over again. Like all those emotions just came flooding back, and I hate the guy again.
That place is so stupid.
I got pushed down.
I got possessed. Ain't nothing happening out there.
There's eyes out there in the wood. You mean like where the fucking headlights are like just coming down
There's
the
also a million animals out there.
Oh, there's a million.
We've seen an armadillo out there. I almost caught a possum last time.
I know Emilio's been out to he went out to Alton Bridge before because this was back before he was like officially investigating and he started talking with us and trying to do some different things. But he was telling me about how he had gone out there and he did the flashlight experiment, and he got the flashlight to go on and off on the bridge. And this is why I like our. Like the people we talk to, because they're very logical people. Because I was like, yeah, it's interesting, but it could be. And he's like, okay. And so he posted up the debunking video for the flashlight. He's like, yeah, he's like, I would totally not do it that way anymore. And he wants to go back out to Alton, but it's just. There's nothing out there. There's too much. Even if there was something out there,
so many people.
You would never
so much
know.
Traffic. The goat man could just be sitting on the bridge, and you'd walk past him thinking he was a person.
Let's put it this way: if I was gonna haunt somewhere, it would not be there because I would just be so annoyed by everybody walking through there. And that's what I always wonder is like all these popular hot spots for people that go and investigate. If you were dead and a ghost and you were haunting somewhere and you're just like you probably after the first 3 sets of investigators came through would probably be like, all right, deuces,
or you might want
the attention
to interact.
But people are so stupid. Like, think how stupid we are on those and like, talk to me, ghost.
Yeah, I hate that.
Like, you never know what to ask it because it's a one-way conversation. So, you're really it's like, that's got to be the most boring conversation ever.
Yeah. I always feel like,
I can't
always
think of
do
any
the EVPs. I always feel awkward. Is there anything here that would like to talk to us? No.
I always hate everybody's motivation for why a haunt. It's unfinished business. Well, they're not really fucking accomplishing anything.
I don't think there's such a thing as people ghosts.
I don't either. And for the main reason that the big explanation is they stick around. Because there's unfinished business. Well, get it done. Like,
then why are you in a cemetery sitting?
Like, what was the business? Like, if you're a ghost from the 1800s, I think you can close the book on that job. Because I don't think there's anybody alive that gives a crap what you have to say anymore.
And the other thing is, why would a cemetery be haunted? Like, in a lot of the cemeteries we go to used to be towns or whatever, but if it's just a cemetery and it's always been just a cemetery, why would it be haunted? Ain't nobody died there. They're just buried there. I don't get it. I don't get the motivation.
I don't know why we apply logic to our job. It all unravels, and then I'm like, why do I do this? It's horrible.
There is no logic. It's pseudoscience.
Anyway, so so our episodes are now available on Amazon.
What was your other announcement you had?
Oh, I was talking about Debbie possibly auctioning Debbie off and seeing if anybody was interested in that idea. Maybe get her more haunted, get her a ghost STD. I do not for unfinished bit. What?
I think that people stick around, or think that there are people ghosts. I don't know.
Oh, she does think that people stick around, but not for unfinished business. So she thinks they stick around for current business?
I don't know. My question is, in what, like, okay, so you're an atheist, right? So people who die. They're gone.
Okay.
You're a Christian. They go to heaven or hell. You're a Muslim. You're a Jew. You're a Satanist. You're pagan. Like, in what religion do they not go somewhere or just disappear? Like, in what idea of faith do they stick around?
That's mostly a pagan thing, where it's not like a heaven or hell. You just, your energy and you're still around or whatever. But I mean, most of the time you're supposed to get reincarnated after a while.
Or they have other ideas of heaven and hell, and where you go after that, or you get re-put into whatever the stream is.
I just insulted Kat on the air, so let's see. Oh, purgatory. Okay, I was waiting to see what she said. Tammy loves Debbie.
Isn't purgatory where they get punished, like where you have to work off your sins?
It's like hell's waiting room, mostly.
My idea is still, if there are ghosts, there's something that we can't comprehend. That it's something like, if animals can see in different color spectrums, if animals can hear in different ranges, then maybe it's something our senses can't pick up on.
I like this. I want to pick on Tammy for a minute. I think you go check into the... And I get what she's saying, and that's fine, but... Come on, let's all have a sense of humor. I think you go check into the light and then you go anywhere you want from there. So it's like a booth.
Well, a lot of, like, what is it, that movie, What Dreams May Come, and like The Lovely Bones?
Oh, I love that movie.
Where heaven is your idea of whatever it is. But I've never believed that people are haunting any. That's why I have such a hard time with the EVP questions, because so many of them are based on them being human.
Maybe it's like...
I don't think they were ever human.
Heaven's like a really busy restaurant. So when you die and you get up there, there's a long line. And they're like, it's going to take a while to seat you.
Here's the buzzer thing.
Right. And so they give you the buzzer.
Around.
And then you just like go wander around in corporal form, until your buzzer goes off. And then you get to go.
Yeah, purgatory is heaven's waiting room. Because you have to work off your sins to get to heaven. You don't work off your sins to go to hell. If you go to hell, you're just screwed. You don't have to go to purgatory and then hell. I don't know. I'm not Catholic. Isn't that a Catholic thing?
Most Catholics don't even believe in hell.
Yeah, they do. Then why are they confessing?
What? It's like
That's
there's like a hell, but not like. Oh my God! I'm not getting into theology.
Emilio says, "I think it's all explainable, but seems supernatural because we don't understand." Yeah, that's what I like. If let's say
and that's pretty much the principle we go off of.
Yeah, like if there's some critter out there that I can't perceive, eventually science will be able to tell me that it exists. We just have to wait for that technology to become available.
I think that some of the ghosts are like people ghosts, but it's not like conscious.
The repeating.
Yeah, it's not like the person's there. It's just like ghost, like the literal definition of ghost. But it's not like it's not like, oh, and that's Christmas. You need to change.
Our future people will think we're stupid, thinking it's ghosts or demons. Yeah, I don't. And that's
I mean, think back to the Middle Ages. They're like, there be dragon. You're an idiot.
We need to bleed your humors to make you well, and
we think those people were like morons, and it wasn't that. It's that they hadn't made like scientific discoveries yet.
But and I think demons, though, is a lot of people's word for, I don't think it was human and I don't understand it. Like, when I was religious, I would have called the stuff we're looking for demons just out of a lack of a better word.
Perfect example would be magnetism, laws of attraction and gravitational effects. So even just, God, like 800 years, just go back like 1,000 years, right? They don't understand how magnetism works. They know certain things like stick together or whatever. They're like, oh, look at these magic metals, and like maybe we can turn metals into gold with alchemy, you know, and it's like on the cusp of science. Like, it's because of that pseudoscience stupidness that those discoveries started getting made. So, you know, we jump on all these other groups about their pseudo-scientific methods of trying to find ghosts, but
eventually they'll stumble onto something.
Yeah, like a lot of science is accidental, and it's not controlled like it's supposed to be.
Like the discovery of infrasound.
Yeah, I mean,
was an I mean, they
so just... do I think EMFs are good ghost detectors? No, but at least somebody was trying to apply. That's called applied science, and somebody was trying to apply some kind of physical thing to it. And it's through those failures that you discover other things. I think a lot of what's wrong with paranormal investigation now is that it's stagnant. Like in the past, like, okay, so alchemy, like it was wrong and not all the science was there, and it only stagnated for a little while, but eventually it pushed through a wall where, okay, well, we learn these other properties about like molecules and how things are put together, and then it becomes something else. But there has been zero significant
change in
ghost hunting since the Victorian era. People are still using Ouija boards
and dowsing rods and doing seances.
Like, we know how these things work, and we're still like, you know, it's...
We need to apply more modern technology to what we're doing, I think. And I think that'll come with time, too, and with other groups implementing it.
Yeah, and we get bashed a lot because we're doing different things, but we haven't come up with any answers per se.
Well, so people pop up and they're like, oh, have you proven there's ghosts? I'm not going to watch if you haven't proven there's ghosts. No, you moron, then go away. I don't want you to watch.
If we actually did that, we would have won a Nobel Prize. There was this really cool movie I watched where the guy had proved that there was an afterlife.
Oh, yeah, The Discovery on Netflix.
Yeah, that was
and people just start killing themselves.
Yeah, they're like, I'm just going to die to go to, you know, because you could, like, view the actual afterlife or whatever.
In the movie, they haven't set it up to where you can view it yet, so no one knows what it is. They just know there's an afterlife, and people have started killing themselves. And then they, like, it's the discovery of trying to, like, the discovery is about him trying to, like, figure out how to see it. Right. And he does, and it's, like, not that great. It's not that great where you go, so probably stop killing yourselves.
It was a good movie. I liked it.
Have y'all tried doing feedback experiments, Emilio asks. And I've never seen, Patty asked if you've ever seen Being Human, kind of like that. I've never seen Being Human.
Oh, Being Human's good. I like the American version of it better than the British version. That's the only time you'll ever hear me say that, by the way.
What are feedback experiments?
I think he's talking about like sensory feedback, where so like that one experiment that I actually talk about in the book where it goes by tactile sensation. So you touch a thing, and there's like there's a robot hand
delay where it touches you, okay.
Right? And you have these like out of body experiences. So we did the sensory deprivation experiment at the jail to kind of mixed result. Like we didn't really know what we were going to get out of it. It wasn't like a static experiment where I was trying to prove or disprove anything. I just wanted to see like what kind of
what comes of it? What can we do with this?
Yeah, what experience happened?
And that's the thing is, we just got to start kind of throwing stuff around and seeing what sticks. And
yeah,
with it.
and I mean,
video feedback. Yeah, I'm lost.
Yeah, I'm lost on what he's talking about. I mean, I may have, but you may be referring to something I'm doing under another thing. I'm not sure about video feedback. Or he might be talking about like what we do with like the spirit box, like white noise.
I think you're just guessing.
I don't know.
I think you're really just guessing.
Riveting podcast this time.
I think we're gonna need more of an explanation from Emilio.
It'll have to be a side discussion, I guess.
But
no, we're gonna wait for his response.
Yeah, Needful Things. We did the jail, and then we've got the hospital coming up. Do anything else coming up?
I mean, there's nothing set in stone. I'm going to talk to Alwie about doing the...
like using a camera to record its own display and looking for anomalies in the feedback.
I know.
That just sounds creepy. Like recording, like, static.
Yeah, it's like that infinite window sort of thing. But, I mean, that's just going to produce so many artifacts. I don't think you're going to get any kind of, like,
I think you'd pick
out
out so much. I mean, stare at a wall with drywall for, like, an hour and see if you don't pick out a few creepy-ass faces. I'm just saying, that's a thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's a thing that happens.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, that's no lamer than the sensory experiment that we tried. Like, even if...
Or the spirit box, it's basically the same thing we would do with the spirit box, recording static, just in video form.
Yeah. A lot of people think they see faces.
Seems like it'd be creepy, that's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I want to try the... Oh crap! I forgot the name of it. It's where it's basically sensory depth, but instead of like a black blindfold, it's just all white.
Oh yeah, with a light or something.
Yeah, and you use just white noise. So like you're bombarding your senses as opposed to like
shutting them off.
Yeah, shutting them off, and people see. God, why can't I think of the name of that right now?
Don't know. Don't care.
Oh, I don't know. So anyway, I think that's just about it for today's show, but we appreciate everybody tuning in, and if you guys got any questions about the pilot episode or the investigation, or any questions about like what we went through to get to those results, anything like that, or anything we talked about on this episode, you can just email us or message us. I mean, and we're actually going to start doing the podcast on Fridays now, because since Sarah does Strictly Sickly, like it was getting kind of hard to do both podcasts on the same day. So
I'll be doing mine Thursday, and hopefully we can start with that again next week. Everyone's been sick, and the crud's been going around. So
yeah, which
tentatively we're going to do next Thursday at around 6:30.
And it's going to be about vaccinations, right?
Yes.
Which I got my flu shot, so
we'll talk about that on the show.
So that'll be Thursdays, and then this podcast is going to switch over to Fridays. Got a couple comments here real quick.
Dolphins and the paranormal? I have no clue what to even think about that. I'm going to have to...
I'm suddenly just thinking about Douglas Adams.
I'm going to have to YouTube and get back to you on that one.
This is the weirdest field to, like, be in. We hear the weirdest stuff. It's like, no matter how on the up and up I try to be about anything, and it's in, like, I'm not making fun of anyone or anything like that, but it's just like, we can be talking about one thing, and I'm always just blindsided, like, oh, what about that story about, aliens that were stealing people's turds?
I would think that dolphins in the paranormal would be a lot like any other animals in the paranormal, where people assume they see more than we see. Would there be ghosts in the ocean?
Well...
Sorry.
So many shipwrecks down there. And maybe the dolphins could use their sonar to, like, communicate or whatever, because they use infrasound to get around.
That's an interesting experiment we should do. We need some sort of
sonar device,
radar device
to attach to your head. And you just go in, you're like, and the ghost is like,
now you click, and you see what it bounces off of. Maybe we get some ghosts.
Oh my god.
Come on. He was saying that they are way more smart than humans, and that they have experiences too. I wouldn't be surprised. I would think that any animal with the capacity for higher brain function has paranormal experiences.
I think that any animal that accidentally ends up in a can that I put on my sandwich Probably.
Oh, because humans don't accidentally end up dead all the time. Have you never watched 1,000 Ways to Die or the Darwin Awards? Come on, people are just as stupid.
How come those people are never ghosts? Like people that die stupid deaths. It's always something tragic, like they leapt off of the lover's thing. But it's never like the dude's like, well, he fell into a meat grinder because he was masturbating on the catwalk.
You've been reading that Chuck Palahniuk book, the Doomed and Damned series, where she dies by being strangled to death by a pack of condoms.
Like, that's the ghost I want to talk to. It's like, how did you die? Well, I was whacking it in the tool shed, and I accidentally leaned up against the breaker.
I stuck my junk in the vent for the hot tub and died of starvation. I mixed ammonia and bleach in my toilet.
Hey, shut up.
Myself.
I didn't die. I ran away.
I'm just saying.
And I turned on the vent. Like, I had the foresight.
Well, maybe if you die in a stupid way, you just automatically go to hell. I'm just saying. Okay, well, that was our show.
So, for all of our dolphin viewers, the information on to get to our show is... No?
I'm going home.
Okay. So yeah, if you guys haven't had a chance, keyword NT Paranormal on Amazon will get you to our pilot episode, which we're trying to check out the analytics on that stuff before we go forward. And we really need ratings on that to help get it higher up in the searches. So if you can throw some stars our way and some feedback on there, it'd be great. But that is now available. Don't forget, we still have a book out there that apparently people read. I find interesting. I was looking at my KDP results yesterday for the first time in like a month, and apparently got a butt ton of reads in
a butt ton
in December, and
a metric butt ton.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our show for today. We'll be back next Friday, and we'll do much better. Throw some suggestions out there for things to talk about.
Bye.
Thanks everyone for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did and you would like to know more about NT Paranormal and our research, please visit us at www.ntparanormal.com or our Facebook page at facebook.com/ntparanormal. You can also check out our book, After Dark Paranormal Investigations, True Cases of the NT Paranormal Team on Amazon.com, or find our articles in Paranormal Hauntings Magazine. Before we go, we would also like to thank our supporters at Paranormal Hauntings Magazine, Paranormal Investigations Equipment, PIE, Ghost House Paranormal, the Granbury Paranormal Expo, and the Tyler Paranormal Conference. Until next time, everyone stay safe out there and stay open-minded.